Interesting again, it goes with John was saying before, it forces you into the present and into the moment. You're not projecting something that's going to happen later on. So that's kind of interesting to see. Right.
Well, because you guys came into these characters without knowing fully on just other than what you were giving, like, how do you guys prepare for these characters, honestly? Because it's like, okay, I'm a historian.
Well, because you only exist from that moment on. So you prepare from that moment on. You don't prepare for something where you don't exist. I can't prepare for my ancestors. My ancestors did what they did. I exist, and I certainly stand, if I stand tall, I stand on the shoulders of those before me, but it still doesn't define my legacy from this point on. I don't know if that's clear. Yeah.
All these characters are recreated once they go to Wayward Pines. I mean, the woman who plays my wife was a very successful architect. She now cuts hair in Wayward Pines. So that's what happens. So this idea, you get plopped into this place, and much like a communist regime, you are given something to do which serves the greater host. So it enables you to, whatever you were, you're now forcing yourself to be someone else in a situation to survive, and it also makes you doubt your past. So, and what exists and what's necessary from that. So it's interesting to use that as an actor. You have to be right in the moment.
Was Theo's wife woken up at the same time as Theo, or was she already in Wayward Pines?
I give you that little bit that she was there before. Yeah.
And then, sorry, what's your first interaction? Have you had it yet?
No.
Okay. Do you know what it'll be? And are you allowed to say?
I don't know. Do you know?
I don't know it, but I got a script that seemed to indicate,
Okay.
Seemed to indicate, but I mean, that's the only, I guess the thing we're shooting, I guess, sometime next week.
I've been out of Vancouver 2 days, so that's like 25 years. Yeah.
What's Theo have the most difficulty with accepting? Is it the town? Is it the abbeys outside?
All of it. He gets all of it. I mean, he does not believe where he is or what's happening. And why would he? The problem with most of these science fiction or supernatural movies is everybody believes it in 2 seconds. And then now we're on for the ride. It's not real. He doesn't believe it. For all he knows, he could be in a dream or hallucination. It's not real. None of you would believe that. You would if you were on a Fox show. If you got plopped into some place and someone told you just were having a vacation and now you've been frozen for 2,000 years and there's all you wouldn't believe it. And so I'm trying to be the audience in that way that no one would believe this. And then there's these pieces that force you that's so strange and your mind can't wrap around it, and ultimately at the end it doesn't matter. You're alive and this is where you are. What are you going to do?
Does he rebel at all? Because we've been told that he comes, but they bring him back for a specific purpose. So does he rebel against that purpose, or does he just kind of?
As I said, we've done 2 episodes. I have a strong feeling that is definitely in the future. That's good. There will be some leadership conflict.
So what's interesting is the difference between season 1 and 2 is the audience was discovering Wayward Pines at the same time as the characters. Now, for the first time, the audience is a little bit, in some ways, more ahead of the characters.
Which is why it's important you sort of have a vehicle with the audience to ride on his back. They know the game, so now it's invest even more in the characters to figure out how they deal with it, and that's why they brought in so many good actors. And that should be interesting.
What attracted you guys to this role?
I like the fact that CJ mentioned is at a conflict with humanity.
Last question.
He seemed to be, the one brain that understand the motor of the town, but at the same time he feels like humanity is doomed and that the abbeys are the new generation. certainly they'll be heading still like a caveman, so they don't really quite it seems like they evolve as we evolve. As they see us evolve, they evolve. At the same time, they're basically looking at us and getting the wisdom from the mistakes they see us do. So on and so forth.
I agree. I mean, it's just an interesting thing to do. I mean, it almost becomes, in the end, it's almost going to be an Adam and Eve tale. I mean, this pocket group is the one that's supposed to repopulate and decide what the world is. It's a highly explosive situation to be philosophical.
We do have an interesting scene.
So you got him.